Good afternoon, welcome to another edition of the Spare Change Challenge. We're here on Ignition Poker. I just started this. This is the second hand, a $10 heads up. Yeah, so he's already asking for clock because I paused there a second while I was getting OBS ready. But yeah, so let's just play it. He open shoved the first hand, so that's something to keep in mind. As we go forward, we'll certainly defend the 10-7 offsuit. This is a good board to check raise. I mean, it's just as a complete bluff. Actually, I'm not gonna check raise that. I think if we had a club, a little better play. Any kind of club would be fine. I don't have confidence that this player is going to. Yeah, so I see this type of player quite a bit playing heads up. Very long ballish. Just looking to get the money in, edges be damned. It can be challenging to play this type of player because you do just have to choose some more marginal spots than you normally would want to. But I think taking a limpy, trappy style works pretty well against this type of player. Because they're pretty much just going to check when they don't have it. Maybe stab sometimes when they have a marginal hand. And then just go for everything when they have it. You know, that type of thing. It's a pretty good river to raise, I think. I mean, he's probably going to call it two pairs. And, you know, it's unfortunate because he's not beating anything. But I think he folds a lot of his one pair hands. So, unfortunately, he just had it, and there's nothing we can do. But I think it's still a good bluff. I mean, he has to have two pair, and it's not that easy. I mean, it's easy to have two pair on that board, but it's not that easy to have two pair, right? We're gonna go ahead and bet this one, check back to that turn, and just call his river bet. Go for some thin value ourselves. Try to get him to call with a deuce. He does not call with a deuce. So yeah, this player can be pretty challenging, but not that it's not like super profitable to play this type of player. It's not normally the type of poker I like to play. He forces you to kind of make hands, and I mean, yeah, it just sucks, right? I mean, I guess we'll take our showdown value because this guy's not shown that he can fold anything, so we'll just have to hope we're good there. Sometimes. So yeah, just thin value betting this type of player I think is the way to go, and just basically making a slightly better hand than him and getting it in. Or a much better hand, obviously. We'll just keep trying to be patient here. If you guys have watched my videos long term, you've seen this type of player before. We do pretty well against this type of player. Our record's pretty good. And we have the queen high here, which is sometimes just good. We also have backdoor flushes, so I think peeling one street here is a good play. He just keeps betting. So yeah, we're just gonna have to fold. He hasn't really shown a bluff yet. I'm gonna limp here and hopefully he just shoves marginally here with like king high. So we have flush draw and bottom pair, so we're just gonna bet the flop. It's a pretty bad turn card. We're just going to check back. We do not improve, so we're probably just going to fold with this river. He makes a pretty small bet, but I honestly just don't have confidence that he could have a bluff here that much, or that he could fold like an 8 or a jack if I raised. Yeah, this player is just not the type of player that wants to fold, so unfortunately we just don't get there that time. We're going to go ahead and I don't know, he's a little bit aggro for us to shove here. This could be a trap. I think we'll just take it to the flop. Yeah. I mean, this is unfortunate. I don't like playing this way. I mean, it looks like he was trapping there on the button, so assuming he had us beat there most of the time pre-flop. So yeah, hopefully we could just get some money out of him on a board like this. Making trips is a good turn card for us. We're going to set up a river shove here. He does just fold this time, which is unfortunate. He's opening really wide, so a hand like ace 3 I can shove. If he limped, I would not be shoving this. But because he seems to limp strong hands and raise all of his weaker hands, this is just the feeling I have. He's playing a little trappy. We've already seen him do it. He showed the ace earlier, which was a mistake on his part. Gave us information. We'll certainly call with a hand like 5-6. We're not flopping anything. We're just going to have to keep playing. And hope he makes a big mistake, which I'm sure he will. We're going to limp here. Hopefully he just shoves. Flopping a set is always good. Do we just wait for a safe card or do we just get it in now? We'll just call one. And just get it on this turn. Yeah, we're just going to shove and hope he has like ace 5 or... Well, he probably raises that. I mean, if he has deuce 3, he just has us. I'm definitely not going to... I mean, I think he calls with a flush draw too, so... I mean, I think it's why it's kind of a mandatory shove on the turn. We can't just let him run out no hearts and then let him just see his flush draw cheap, right? We're going to continue calling pretty wide, because I think if we flop like a disguised 2 pair, I just think he's going to pay us off every time. We're going to peel 1 with a 6-3 here. Pick up a diamond, obviously we can do something. We probably have the best hand most of the time here. We're just going to check. Looks like a bluff, so we're going to call. And it is a bluff, and we now take the chip lead. I'm going to go ahead and limp, and hopefully he's on tilt here and just shoves. Does not. He says in the chat, okay, good game, see ya. I'm not sure what that means. This looks like a bluff. I mean, is he really ever not going to raise an ace here? Pre-flop. So I think we just have the nuts here. I'm going to try and deuce a bluff by min-betting. And nothing happened. He's saying good game, see ya. I mean, was that before I won the big pot or... it was before I won the big pot, so... Apparently he thought he had an insurmountable chip lead and just said good game. So hopefully that bites him in the butt and we just win this and then he rematches us. So let's think about his range here when he shoves. Ace high, king high, small pairs. I mean, I just think he's actually getting frustrated by me taking so long, so I'm going to take a little bit longer here. I think if I had something like 2100 chips, I would call this, just because I think we could sometimes be ahead of like 9-10 hands that I think he will have in his range. But I think he had just a few more chips than I would like. We don't want to leave ourselves with like 500 unnecessarily here. We're gonna raise this because I don't know if he's a wide 3-better. We haven't really given him the chance yet. We haven't been raising many hands. Now he just open chips the flop, and even though it's a draw heavy flop and we're sometimes ahead here, I'm not gonna give him an easy one because he could certainly have like 9x and just be on tilt right now. So we're just gonna hang tight here, give him a chance to make a big mistake, and we don't really have to do much else. I think he bets all of his bigger clubs on the flop, so I think our club's live here a lot. Our 6 is probably live, actually, a lot of the time. This is I don't know. I don't know about this call. I think he just has a jack here a lot. I think he checks back all of his 10s. So he either has like a jack, or like just flop the nuts. Is he really going to bluff me twice? So let me think about this. If I call here, we're about even in chips. He's a little slight chip leader, which is fine. If I call and I'm right, I win a 300. I have about 2,000 chips. Is it worth the bluff to have a 2-to-1 chip? I think it is. I think it's worth it. And he did just have a bluff, so we win that one too, which is awesome. Surprised he didn't bet that on the flop. We're going to fold this one. I think he's going to shove wide there after being caught in another bluff. We're not going to defend here. We're going to maintain our chip lead. We're going to try and get the money in here before we have less than 1,800 chips. I think he'll do it wide right now. I'm just gonna give him that chance. I think this is a good hand to do it with. We're gonna call that. Snap call that. Fortunately, he has us here. Come on, hearts. We cannot get there. That sucks because we were way ahead of his range to do that. But that's okay. We still have 800 chips. And I mean, even though he got it in with ace 7 versus ace 4, we're gonna chop there a lot. It's unfortunate that he hit a 7. But bad luck. So we're just gonna get to grind it back up now again. I'm definitely not folding that kind of hand to him because I think he'll just have a ton of hands like, you know, king 10 type hands. I'm against most players. I would probably have bluffed that river. I just think this guy's looking way too much for like bluff calling payback. I'm just gonna take queen high to the river here and just hope we're good. I don't think he folds king high or ace high anyway, so might as well just take it to the river. Flopping a deuce. I'm gonna stab with this. We haven't really done this yet. See how he reacts to that. Might do a little bit more of that going forward. Test the waters. Gotten more limpy as we've gone. We have an open ender. I'm gonna go ahead and lead from in there. Check the side of this turn. He pots it. I'm just gonna fold. We have dirty outs. I guess we have 15 big blinds. I'm gonna try to get him to just make a bad call here. Maybe he has ace high, king queen or something. Maybe it looks like we're on tilt and he'll call me a little bit wide. Got something. He says, should I stall? Is it fun? Apparently he's not a thinking player and he just doesn't understand what people are thinking. Must be nice just to have automatic style of play, right? Maybe he's trapping here. Because last time he limped he was trapping with ace high. So I'm gonna go ahead and shove this. Darn it. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe we should have done a small raise there. I don't know. I'm gonna limp this. And flopping. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a pretty disguised hand here. We're gonna call one straight and go with it on the turn. I'm spent 200, and he was just stabbing. Hopefully this guy just wants to keep playing us over and over again. I think he likes to play a lot of these and just get them over really quickly. That's his style. So we're gonna draw this out as long as we can. Force him to make a mistake. That's kind of been our theme, right? And we'll check this back and maybe min raise a turn. I think he bets all of his jacks and aces on the flop. Unless he's trapping, of course. Which is possible. Yeah, stringing him out here is going to be the way to go. We're about 1 minute from the blinds going up again, and I think it gets a little more significant. I think, what is the next blind? 50, 100, so I'll have 10 big blinds basically then. And crap will have to hit the fan at some point after that, because we can't fold. We can't be too patient at that point. So yeah. But we're one double up from having a good chip lead again, so not a big deal. Getting the ace queen here is good. And obviously we're not folding now. Got him dominated. Deuce, please. Not a club. Okay, now we're gonna chop. That sucks. Okay, well a chop is better than a loss. Alright, so we'll min raise. And we'll just go with it on this board. Hopefully he has something. He does not, but we win a small pot. Blinds are going up here, I think. Next hand, I guess. Flopping 2 pair on a monotone. Let's see a safe turn. I don't think he has king queen because he would have raised that pre. I think he either has a flush or nothing here a lot, so hopefully he doesn't have king 9. We're just gonna have to call. If he has a flush, he has it. And he just has a bluff again. We're not gonna ever fold 2 pair to this guy. Blinds go up, we have queen high, we're gonna shove. And he has ace 8. Just need to hit a queen or a 4, please. Diamond, a queen or a 4. Crap. Alright, so we're back to just a slight dog. Too bad we can't win that one, right? We're calling this probably... I'm gonna go ahead and shove. 10 big blinds, we have pretty strong hand. We're basically even in chips again. Yeah, we're not gonna be tricky at this point. Just gonna shove our ace 10. Win or lose this one, we now have felt him out, so we will definitely want a rematch. If, no matter who wins it. He is apparently on tilt. If you can read this, okay, I'll stall and see if it's fun. Check my email. Funny guy. I'm fine with it because, you know, it doesn't bother me. I've got all day. We're not in any rush here. I mean, he also could be like, slow rolling us. So I wouldn't be surprised if he turned over like queens here, which is fine. Whatever he has, he has. Go ahead and check back this time. And I think he stabs a lot of turns, so I'm going to check this one. And check shoving, just hoping he has 9-8, 9-8, 8-3. He has a spade draw, and we win. So we have a dominating chip lead now. I think we just shove 100%, pretty much. Especially hands that strong. We just got to hold on a flip. Deuce, please. Not an ace. 3. Okay, we win. Let's see if he wants to rematch. He probably won't. Okay, he declined. That's okay. We win our first one today. That is always good. Let's go ahead and register for another one. Pull this in here so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. Alright, we don't want cash. Our new balance is right here. We just broke 200 again. Let's see here. Let's find one. Here we go. Oh, that was non-turbo, which I guess is fine. Prefer turbos though. Go ahead and register this one. Turbos, you just seem to get a lot worse players. Generally, people that are going to play slow ones are taking their poker game more seriously. Seriously? Seriously, I don't know. So we'll see. We can get action here. That's the one thing I like about this site is the anonymity that you have. People can't avoid you. Oh, maybe we'll get that same guy back again. I don't know. That'd be nice. I know he was on tilt and he didn't like playing us because we were a thinking player. So I mean, there's a lot to be said for maybe me apologizing at that point. I don't want to piss off the fish, right? So maybe I should have done that. Maybe he would have played us again. I don't know. Let's update our challenge text here. We are 4-3. We're winning in the winning column again. Let's try and keep that streak going. We have an opponent. Sweet. Minimize this. You first, sir. We will defend the queen jack. Unless he shoves. Flopping the nothing here. I'm gonna call one straight. Just to see if he's the type of player that would shut down. Because I think we're good if he does not barrel a lot. Because I think ace high will barrel this board. And I think we have the nuts now. No matter whether we want to bet, try to get value from like 7s or something. Could a small bet get value from like 7s? I think so. We're gonna go and bet. We don't want him to check back his small pairs. And wow, he actually has a king. That's amazing to me. Why would he not bet the turn with that? But anyways, we minimize our losses because I think if we check that river, we're gonna have to call. Because I think he has a lot of bluffs. So I think I still like the bet because it kind of just we set our price. Unfortunately, we haven't the nuts here and get folded too. I still like our play there. We're going to start with 100% strategy here and just negotiate based on what he does. He 3-bets the first hand I raise, so put that in the bank of what's going on. I notice he does not have auto muck clicked, so that immediately is either the sign of he's a play machine, well, a non-reg, let's put it that way. We'll just do that. He could be, well, the reason I say play machine is he 3-bet us. So, I mean, for all I know, he had aces, right? This is a real good board to c-bet, so I'm going to do that. Pick a non-barrel off strategy versus this player initially. Although I think a barrel off would be good on that board. I don't know that we're going to get him off a king. And we're not exactly deep, so I think one and done on that board is going to show profit anyway. If you're looking at the chip profit, which doesn't really matter, I guess. I guess it does, but it doesn't. Oh, looks like he's pretty straightforward so far. Maybe a reg. I don't know. We'll see. It's probably not the type of player we want to be playing, so we won't rematch this guy just from my initial impressions. But he's probably pretty straightforward, so we can probably just outplay him. So if he's on like, he's probably thinking about what we have, so we just have to think about what he thinks about what we have, and then we can probably beat this guy. If we even get in enough spots. It might just be more about frequencies against this guy. 3-bet coming. Just call. We flop a gut shot on a good board to c-bet. Guessing if he's a wide 3-better, he'll be 3-betting a lot of his aces, so thought about it. Maybe we will barrel this one off just because we have equity. Try to get him off a queen X type hand. But he does just fold a flop, which is good. Good. It'd be much better to turn the straight and get it in versus 2-pair, but you know, choosers can't be beggars. We just shove? Nah. Do a 3-bet here. And hopefully we just get it in versus ace high here. I'm going to check shove. Now bet the turn. Pretty sure we're getting called a lot by like ace X here. A beautiful river. Pretty sure he raises flushes. Don't want to get bluff raised off my hand. I don't know that he's capable of that on this board. Maybe it is just a bet fold. I'm going to do a pretty big bet in case he has a 10. Yeah, this might just be a fold. Does he ever check back flush draws though? Do we just have to pay it off with this strong of a hand? Could he have a hand like, I mean, I just think this is 100% flushes, right? Does he ever check back a flush draw though? On the flop. Or rather, yeah, I don't know that he checks. I mean, what do we have left if we call 500? Can we come back from that? I mean, doesn't he just go for it all with a flush though? I mean, could this just be 5-6 that he slow played? I mean, whatever, dude. Alright, so he had the nut flush. It's a good thing he didn't bet the flop because we would have been out right now. I'm amazed that he wouldn't bet that on the flop. That's really, really weird. Really weird. Yeah, really weird. So we'll just play back. I mean, we still have almost 20 big blinds. It's not a big deal. So not much you can do on that spot, I don't think. We're not gonna just check with 4s. We gotta keep an aggressive image anyway. I think that kind of hand is good to do it with, because a lot of his trapping hands will just be ace high. We need a limping range, and I think this is a good hand to add to that, queen high. We're gonna c-bet that, but he just pots it. I guess this board hits his non-raising check back range when we limp. His random cards. So hopefully he does what most people do here, and that's just goes into basically nut camp mode, right? Looking for a strong hand just to get it in with. This is a good spot. I mean, no matter what we do, it's going to look strong, so we're just going to get it in. Hopefully he has an ace-queen and not a pair. Could he be 3-betting as a bluff with us so shallow? I doubt it. I don't know what he's doing here. So he just has queen-jack and he decides to call it. And we hold. Back to 1,000. Good deal. Not sure what he's thinking there with the queen-jack. I guess once he realized he 3-bet, he just was priced in. Which is a mistake on his part. I much prefer him to shove that than try and do a small 3-bet. Unless he's folding, then if he's gonna do that, he should do a smaller 3-bet. Well, at least we know that kind of hand is in his 3-bet range, right? I think we're a little bit weak to call this. I think I would much rather have 5-4 suited, you know, than to call this. But we know he's a wider 3-better than average, so maybe we would start limping a hand like that. I'm gonna go ahead and lead on this board. Our spade. Now we have a gut shot, double gut shot, just a gut shot, and probably check call this river. Couldn't have it twice, right? I think he's got like a big spade here a lot, so we're just gonna call and hit the straight on us. Unfortunate for us again, we run into that hand when he's just gonna have a bluff or nothing there a lot on that river. And flopping top pair is good. We're just going to check back. There's really no reason to bet. There's nothing worth calling except maybe 7x. It's hard to get value now unless he just happens to have a 7. Which is possible, you know. He's shown that he does slow play. Eventually this guy will not have the nuts against us though and will win a hand. That would be very nice. We're not going to defend. He's not really stealing that much, so it's not really necessary for us to defend a hand like that. I think we just get in a lot of trouble against a 36% range. We're going to open a hand like this just because it's an easy 4-bet if he 3-bets. Probably have the best hand here a lot, so we're just going to check back. And we're going to bet pot, just because it's hard for him to bluff raise against a pot size bet. We can just comfortably fold when he raises. And now we can just check back. And he does just have 2 pair on the river. Once again, this guy cannot miss a river. But we're doing it in small pots, so we're still alive. Still alive. We might just have to go for it here. And just check shove. Although he has been checking back some stronger hands. We're going to lead here. And I think we're required to bluff this river. We could just have it again. He actually has it again. Wow. The beautiful thing is this guy's had the nuts like 4 times against us. And we're still in it. So we can still come back from this. And this would be a pretty sweet victory if we can come back. Get called, he has jacks. We're going to have to get very lucky. We have 2 outs. And we don't get there. We do not want to rematch this guy. We'll play somebody different, hopefully. So we'll decline this and then sit in a seat. It's not the fact that he was such a great player. It's just he's not the preferred player. We want passive players or really hyper stupid aggressive type players. I don't think we're going to see a lot of profit in playing that type of player over and over again. I think we're still plus EV. It's just a matter of, you know, why not go for something better? So he's the first guy in a while that we would not have wanted to play just right off the bat again. Unfortunately, we lose our second one today, so we're back to 4-4. It's just pretty weird for us because didn't we have like an 11 winning streak or something earlier this year? So maybe we can just get back on one of those streaks and people cannot make the nuts on us. So the good news is we're running really bad in heads up so far since we've come back to doing it, but we're still 4-4. So yeah, let's wait for the run good. It's coming. So we'll see if another one will register fairly quickly with us. Let's see what's going on here. Here's that one we could play. Wait, that's not turbo. Never mind. I kind of want to stay at the $10 level unless we drop down to like under $100. I don't even know that I would even want to drop down to the $5 level. Probably want to just load more money, right? And then have to do that. Yeah, I mean that would be dumb because we might just go play the $10 level till we bust if that happens. It happens because we have like 4,000 behind. Not really necessary to play this bankroll. We're not really playing this bankroll, we're playing the main bankroll, so the goal here is to move up. So we'll play a good sampling of these and then probably play the 20s after that. Let's say we play like 50 of these and we win 35 or 32 or whatever. Or just win more than 25, we'll take a shot at the $20 level, play another 50. Unless we lose like 20 in a row or 20 out of 30 or something. Does happen. I mean, this is heads up, it's high variance. All that good stuff. Hopefully somebody sits with us fairly quickly here. We can look at the cash games real quick while we're sitting here. Wondering if the lag is still such a problem. Not that just pulling up one table is going to really tell us anything. We were able to get on this table pretty quickly. But it seemed like when we had 4 tables going, it was just lag city, right? We don't want to deal with that. If we can avoid it. Okay, somebody. Time to sit with me. See if anybody's sitting in one of the $20 ones. Just for the heck of it. Or if somebody just sitting there, they might be a reg. Somebody's sitting in one of the $50 ones. Yeah, I just don't know. Coming. Oh. Just realized I haven't been paying attention to my chat, so if you said anything during this, I apologize. I did not see it. We dropped down to like under $100. Mute this, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. Alright, we might just have to play a $5 one. Just so we're not sitting here waiting all day. Alright. I've got my chat up. I don't see that anybody said anything, so that's good. Didn't miss anything. Let's see what we got here. Take it off of this. Okay, looks like we got another game. Just as I was about to try and find something else, we get another person to sit with us. Good luck, us. It's locked. Not letting me switch. Maybe that's because it hasn't started. I don't know. Still not letting me switch. Uh-oh. What's going on here? I can't do anything. Help. If we do this... maybe it's a... Might be a... How did I fix this in the past? I forget. There was a way to fix this. Okay. Just moving the window fixed it. Okay. It was something to do with Hold'em indicator, I think. Or OMA. Tournament indicator. I think that, if I remember correctly, the fix is just to move the window. A little bit of a panic there suddenly. And you can't do anything. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Is this just a draw a lot? Ugh. Do we just have to fold now? Is this just 7-5 or... Crap. Could be 6-8. I mean, whatever, dude. We'll just pay you off. Yeah, yeah. He had to have clubs. That's unfortunate, because we were ahead. He had to have the flush. We had him out kicked. We're not gonna fold. I think he has more than just club draw there. He could just have had Queen 8, right? Without the club draw. Doesn't have to have the club draw there. So unfortunately we start this one off in a hole again. Not much we can do. Our opponents are just hitting the nuts against us. We just have to keep battling and trying to get back into it. Do our best. Not gonna flat this. I'm just glad he didn't bet bigger on the river because I probably call anything on that run out. We have pots at this time. So I'm guessing this is like Jack X or flush draw or something not as strong as what he had before. We do make 2 pair. It could be King 10, but can't be too concerned with that. We're gonna go for a little value from a Queen X. Looks like he just had like a Jack or a 3 or flush draw or something like that. Let's try and get back in this thing. Second time he's raised. So he looks like he's 83-17 before that hand, so maybe he has a strong range when he raises. I don't know. That's the reason for my shove. Hoping he has something like Ace-9. And is willing to gamble it up. Yeah, we're just going to check back for the 8s and lead any flop. Just going to barrel off because I'm assuming he doesn't have many aces in his range. And now we'll check call. I think if he has, he's going to have some busted spades here. And just decides to hit the gut shot. Once again, we run into the nuts that the guy rivers on us. Wow. It's rigged! Right? It's pretty funny. Kind of fun. The first 3 or 4 bluff catches we made were good tonight. And then it's just like, man, running into it. Yeah, it's a pretty horrible board here. We're just gonna give up. This guy's very donk betty, so we'll have to do some fairly marginal plays against him, but probably not. Probably not actually marginal. It'll just seem that way. That's a really bad turn card for him. So he should be checking this back, and then we'll raise rivers. So we can't raise rivers. We'll just lead. Hopefully he just folds a 10 here. Ugh. Or he just hits a king. Once again, anything but a king comes on the river, and we just win that pot. Okay. This is not fun, guys, when people river you every time. We're just gonna have to fold because he's probably stabbing 100%. Looks like in limped pots. So I guess we'll just have to wait for a piece. I think we just have to get it in here. He's stealing wide enough. So we just have to get it in. And we're ahead. We were ahead. I have to get there. And we do. So we're hopefully gonna be able to crawl our way back into this. About time we rivered somebody, right? Isn't that something like 7 rivers or something this session that people have just... Wow, it's just insane. But we're still kicking. Not giving up. That's one thing we don't ever do is give up. We could have 30 chips and we're gonna grind those 30 chips, right? We're not giving up ever. Alright. Waiting for a good spot. Wish there was a way to triple up, but unfortunately we're just gonna have to grind it up. Wow, he folds to our queens. Is that the first time he's folded a button? That sucks. Okay, we'll open the jack 8 suited. Good flop. I don't think we have enough room here to even raise. I think we can min raise and that's about it. And then shove any heart turn. Okay, so he folds to his... I mean, it's obvious he doesn't have an ace because he's 100% 3-betting an ace there. I don't know what he's representing. I think we probably have the best hand here, so we're going to lead. And definitely don't want to check call and with that hand in that spot. Keep getting these double down hands, that's okay. Alright, the king jack we can live with. Probably just have to stack. This guy's so stabby that I might just check this back. Yeah, does he ever have an ace here? I don't. He shouldn't. I guess he could. We're gonna raise this for value on the turn. I think sometimes he has a 4. I mean, I'm sorry, a 5. Why do I just think he had like 5-3 here? Or deuce 3? I mean, we can't call this. We can't shove, we can't call. We'll be crippled. I mean, we look really strong here, so we'll just fold. We look really, really strong. He probably just has a weak ace. He doesn't want to know on the river. Doesn't want to check calls. So, I mean, if he had an ace, it would be like the ace 3, ace 4 type hand, right? So it would make his line. I mean, the way he played that hand just makes sense. There's not much we can do here with just over 10 big blinds. We just have to shove. Try to get back in this. Although this is not the bottom of our stack, we've been at 200, so yeah. Alright, we gotta get... Man, can they miss? We're drawing dead on the turn. We will play this guy if he wants to. We haven't had anybody rematch us yet, which is really weird, because when I used to do these, we would get rematches all the time. So, yeah, we're going to play again. I'm not going to give up. Alright, so let's reg another one. It's like Bizarro World almost right now on how bad we're running in these so far. Really, really, really weird. We're 4 and 5 now, not the end of the world, so we're down $10 in 9 of these. So if we win this one, we'll be 500 in our first 10. Which, hey, it's hard to win heads up when people are just making hands on you, left and right. We know this. And, I mean, every single time it seems like we've gotten all in with the best hand, they've outflopped us. We did catch up a couple times, luckily. But for the most part, we're just running bad. I mean, it happens. We can't read anything into that. We just gotta keep playing. I mean, that's why you gotta play and get a sample size. Because people can win over the short term. That's what makes poker so profitable. So, but I mean, running bad like this could definitely make you. It can play head games on you. So don't get frustrated out there if you know you're playing pretty well and losing. And did I just do it again? Oh shoot! I did it again. I don't know what I'm doing to make this happen, but it happened again. By turning on Table Tamer again. Okay, moving the HUD worked that time. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave with my king high here. Get rid of that, hopefully. Get out of my way. Okay. It's a pretty bad turn. We're not gonna barrel off. We will be stabby though, when it warrants it. I think we can go ahead and maybe get him off a 3 or a deuce now. We're gonna bet this river. And obviously fold to a raise. Does he have an ace? Would he actually have an ace here ever? I guess so. People limp 8 weak aces. He should be folding an ace, but obviously he just has a 5 again. And we lose. To another... I'm not saying we got river there because we were bluffing, but I think if he doesn't spike a 5, we probably just win that pot. Spike is straight, I mean. Alright, so we flop pretty reasonably well here, turning open-ended. Under-ripping our hand on the flop. We like to play turns and rivers and make people make mistakes. I think this is a really good board, because if it runs out like this, I mean, we're just going to get paid, right? By 6, a flush, straights, all that good stuff. But it just doesn't ever look like we could have anything here, right? Did we go for it all, or did we just do a small raise? I mean, he's probably not going to call with a straight if we raise too big. He's probably not going to call with a flush if we raise too big, but he'll definitely call with a 6. So the only thing we're getting value from is a 6, which is unlikely. So I think we're trying to just make a small raise here to get value from flushes and straights. That's about it. So I think against his overall range, we'll just raise that much. Or he could just have a bluff, which is possible too. I doubt he's folding a 6, so probably just was bluffing. I mean, there's a chance he folded like the bottom end of the straight or something. It's just not as likely. As just being a bluff, probably. I think for that side, I think he might call with a flush or straight, just because it doesn't look like we could have anything but a 6. The 8 is probably difficult. We're probably not raising a 6, so if he thought through that, probably calls there with a wide range. So, not that he would be thinking through there. People play this pretty level 1, I think. We're not going to stab at this. It's like a trap all day long. Raises pre and then suddenly checks an ace-king board. I don't think so, people. I wasn't born yesterday. I was born 2 days ago. Folding? I mean, it's so weird because if you remember, if you watched me for a while, you know that normally when I play these, I like to be aggressive early on in the tournaments, build up to 2,000 chips, then play aggressively and just try to range over range or just kind of pummel them into the ground. This is not the best board to see bet on. I'm going to do it anyway against this guy. But it seems like we just keep losing these hands early on and just getting in a deficit. So maybe we just need to be a little more cautious early in these things, right? This guy's raising a lot. Do we just want to pile in 83 big blinds or 67 effective? Nah. We'll just call and play a flop. Now, if I had 2,000 chips there, I would have just shoved. I'm just going to call with my gut shot here. And we probably have the best hand quite frequently here. I don't know what he's betting with here. It could be a 7, could be a 9. It could be just air, could be a draw. Could be a lot of hands that we're beating. Just gonna let him check back, and we are good. He probably had like ace high. Okay, pocket threes. I actually don't mind his plan. Now I wish I had shoved pre because he probably calls. If only we could have known, right? Hopefully this guy is just on tilt here. Alright, let's do it, guy. Let's get it in with your king 6 with no spades. Make it easy. We need an easy one. Okay, we're up to 2,000 almost now. We're going to gamble a little bit here. A little bit more than we would normally gamble. We're not going to do anything stupid, but we'll definitely play a little bit more marginal than we normally would. We're going to lead with the straight draw and backdoor hearts. Probably just barrel off here. And certainly bet the river once we get the straight. We're not trying to blow him out of the hand. We're trying to get called by 2 pairs. Something like that. And apparently we just both have a 7, or yeah, 7-10 and slow played it. So we're not getting value by shoving here, really. So again, we run into the nuts, and we somehow are still chip leader even after that. He hasn't 3-bet yet, so I'm going to give him a chance to raise me when I limp. And maybe he feels like he's in God mode now, and we'll just put it in with ace 10. See? Isn't that amazing? He flopped the nuts, and we get there. It's just... How is this possible? How is this possible? We're still in this one. That just cracks me up, though. He flopped the nuts. And we're drawing dead, basically to a 9 chop. And we get our straight, you know. It's like the poker gods don't like us, right? They don't like us today, or lately. And that just cracks me up that he had 9-7 there. This is Hold'em, right? And he's not like hiding a couple Omaha cards somewhere. Because, I mean, you expect that stuff to happen in PLO, but not like that this often in heads up no limit hold'em. But I guess it's entertaining, right? It's fun to watch. Flopping the nothing here as far as being able to bet. He just fold, right? You would think. What the hell is he leading with here? I'm confused. Does this board look just so good for us that he's going to lead his 6s? I mean, I just don't understand what he's leading there. Because that's just kind of a crazy, because if you have an ace, you don't want to lead into somebody. And if you have 6s, you don't want to lead into somebody. You just don't want to lead into somebody. So I just didn't have anything, right? I couldn't, it's not like I can raise there and him call and then he hits something, right? Yeah, so I'm assuming we just have the best hand here. That's a really bad river card, by the way. And we just can't call. I think King 10, Queen 10 are just lots of hands in his range. And 9x, obviously. We're just not beating anything but missed flush draws. Which is possible, but it's just when like 3/4 of what he could have gets there, you just have to fold. You have to play honest. Or we could bet fold, I guess. But really, I don't even like that there. Once again, a good board for us. Could be. We're gonna do it again. I guess it's working for him, but we're not playing this. We're gonna go ahead and raise this time. See what he does. Of course, last time he didn't have an ace. This time he will. But yeah, he's just donk folding it. It's weird though. His aggression factor isn't as high as I would expect. I guess he's been kind of peely as well. Like he slow plays when he has it, so that's why his aggression looks so low. I just don't know what he's doing, so I'm just gonna shove my 50 big blinds and hopefully he's trapping with 7s. I don't like playing out of position against this type of odd player. They're really, when I don't know what the hell he's doing post flop, just because it doesn't make any sense. I like to just get it over with pre when I have a hand that strong. Out of position. In position, whatever, dude. I'm not gonna shove there. So we're still up. Yada yada, right? They shoved on us last hand. So yeah. Straight. Just gonna play straight forward this time. Sometimes I check this back just because it's hard to get it in against worse that often. But I think, unfortunately, he doesn't donk bet this ace high board. I wish I had waited. and let him just yeah, we're gonna defend this. Flopping a double gutter, right? We're obviously not folding the flop. I guess we stab at this. I guess we stab at it. I mean, it's not my favorite. Yeah, this is not my favorite. Not my favorite card to stab. But we're still gonna do it. Blinds go up. It's fine. I don't think he's 3-bet often enough yet for me just to get it in with this ace-8, but I'm certainly gonna call a 3-bet. And with any piece, obviously we'll go with it. We don't hit a piece. And yeah, there's nothing we can do. I don't think he's very strong when he does that, but he can certainly have like ace-jack or something. Okay. He's either really strong or taking a poop right now. So we'll just have to tread cautiously here because of the possible poop factor or him being strong. Very sticky. He's not folding that much. Well, likes to see at least 4 cards. Pretty much every time. Which is good if you have a thin value hand. Bad if you have air. Flopping the queen, checking back, giving him a chance to bluff at this. Of course, if we know our history here, he's got jack-9 every time, right? But we're not folding and we're not raising, we're just calling. I don't see any reason to bet here. He's going to have a hand like that most of the time. Wow, he folded a hand. Holy cow. What is in his folding range? Once again, he's just not 3-betting enough for me to get it in, even though this is a really nice hand. Wow. Just can't do it. I just don't. I just think he's going to have like ace-5 a lot here or something, and I can't beat that. I'm not looking to just play bingo, right? We're kind of just playing in his hands, into his hands when we call there. I mean, I guess limping is an option with my middle strong hands. This guy seems kind of familiar, doesn't he? Like a few days ago, did we play a guy that was similar to this? When it got to be this level of the tournament, he just kind of went crazy. Maybe we'll go ahead and make that adjustment. Go ahead and make that adjustment. We're going to trap a little bit here. Just a little bit. I'm not going to put a lot of dead money in pots. I think he might be that type of player, because you see that Seabiscuit type of play a lot, even though this guy's been kind of all over the place. I'm going to limp a hand like Queen 7, though. If we're going to fold, I mean, if we're going to trap later, we have to sometimes fold pre-flop. We have to limp fold to be able to limp raise, or limp get it in, if that makes sense. Having the deuce 9. Shove it. Shove it. I'll call. I'll call. Just kidding. Okay. I'm going to do this a lot just because I want to kind of lull him into, like, I might actually just limp my entire range going forward in this one. Because I want him to start doing this and have some success, and then we'll just have kings, you know, whatever. I'm not saying we're nut camping necessarily, but, you know, whatever works. Last time he did this, he limped. Yeah. I can't possibly think what he's thinking about, but okay. Alright, limping again. Flopping top pair. Checking back for deception. He's been very stabby, so we'll give him a chance to be stabby. It's a good river. Stab again, and hopefully he doesn't have deuce 5. 8-5. 10-5. We're just going to min bet and try to deuce a raise. And we're good, which is good. We don't have to win too many of those. Let's see what he had here. You know what? Earlier we could have saw on another hand, and I should have done that. Whatever pops up here. Give it a second. He had Jack Deuce. He had a deuce on the turn. Ugh. Foldy moldy. Have the 8-4. Comes with a limp. Every time he pauses, he limps. Okay. Or he could just raise 4.5x. That's true. Probably had a hand like ace, king, jacks, something like that. Usually that's what people do with it. What they think to be a marginal hand, I guess. I don't know. Blinds are up. We have 10 big blinds. We're going to test the water with a couple limps here, and then we're just going to have to be on a shove fold regimen. Yeah, he pots it. Which is pretty typical for him. So, okay. We will get it in on this hand if allowed to. Wow. I mean, whatever, dude. We will play all this time just to end up in a big cooler situation. We will play this guy again if he wants to. Nobody's rematching though lately. Everybody's declining. That sucks for us. We're patient, and then he just has the nuts. Right? That's the way it goes. Unfortunate for us. That's the way it goes. That's the way we're running lately. We're going to keep going here. I think we have time for, well, it's been an hour, but I don't know. If somebody sits with us fairly quickly, we'll try and play one more of these. We have such a promising start today, too. Okay, where are these at? Here we go. I'm waiting to run good. There we go. Maybe we're turning into kind of a nit fish. I don't know. I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater yet. But we'll keep in mind that maybe we need to watch our passivity level. Is that even a word? So we'll give it just a couple minutes to see if somebody sits with us here. All right. So let's see. What kind of zone poker is running right now? Wow, really? Only one level? Kind of weird. No 50? What about Omaha? So the only zone running is 100 NL. And it's got 50 plus players. Why is that one yeah, that's really strange. It used to be there was a ton of 50 and hardly any 100. Actually, there was a time there where there was a lot of 50, quite a bit of 100, and some 200 as well. Maybe it's just the time of day and week. I don't know. You guys can tell me whether that's normal or not. Really strange. Looks really strange to me anyway. Let's see here. What else is going on? Is there a hyper turbo we could jump in? No hypers running. Oh, we got a game. Boy, I'm getting kind of worried here with our track record lately. We're 4-6 now. We started today at what were we today? What did we start the day at? Were we 3-3? Okay, so we're 1-3 today, I think. Alright, so let's just get back to basics here. Just play our normal strategy. Let's see what happens. We're just going to raise 100% of buttons to start. And go from there. Flopping top pair. Checking back. Control. Showdown. Or setting the price. It's like a call line. We're basically chopping. We're not beating king queen. We're chopping with all of his aces. Or he could just river us again. Wow. You guys that have been watching this whole session, are you as dismayed by this as I am? I wonder if he fires the river if he misses his trips or two pair. That was like a really good river for us too. Like he could definitely still bet king queen for value. I'm not so sure that wasn't like a raising spot for us. I don't know. This board's way too dynamic for me to do anything here. We're gonna just give up. We're definitely playing the 7-8. Okay, there's not a ton of aces in his range. I don't think. We're just gonna go ahead and bet the turn, although we did hit the 8. I think he's gonna be pretty wide on the button. My initial impression. We're definitely calling with the queen 10. Don't know what his 3-betting range is, but I'm certainly never folding. On a safe turn, we're just going to get it in here. I mean, flushes come in, but when we hit a card that strong, we can't let another diamond peel. Actually, can we? Okay, we're going to check back here and just call. If he hit a flush or straight, we're mitigating our losses here. And I guess betting the turn's fine too, because he did have a diamond. Yeah. I don't like to, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that last one. I don't like to go broke with 100 or 70, 80 big blinds with 2 pair on a dynamic board, because he could easily have king jack or a flush there. Yeah, we're going to keep our 100% up here. Force him to try and keep our aggression up. We had a flush. Check back. Call any river bet he makes. And he has a better spade. Man, they just have us every time here on rivers. We're not surviving rivers very much. Yeah. Check shoving this. I'm sure he'll have king 10 here, right? Or jack 9 or ace jack. Well, we actually won that one. Don't mean to be pessimistic, but you guys have been watching this know this is really weird for us to win pots. Do we just gamble? Let's see an improving turn and then we'll worry about it. Like a 10, a 9, a jack, something like that. We'll definitely bet the turn. That's a really hinky run out. Does he ever have the ace of clubs here? Whatever. Alright, so we weren't getting any value. Would have been really nice as a 10 or an 8 on the river, but beggars can't be choosers. We're going to try and go for it all here. And we do get it in versus queen jack. Give me a 6 on the turn. Deuce, please. I'll take it. Alright, let's see if this guy will rematch real quick. I will play one more if this guy will rematch. Alright, so we did win one. Finally. That was it a 3 losing streak for us? That's not good, but we're 5-6 overall now, which is not the end of the world. So we're 2-3 for today. Not much else to say about it. We're not going to be upset. We're down $10 for the day, even after all that shenanigans happened. Yeah, not much more. I think it was an entertaining day. I mean, for you guys maybe, maybe for me too. I mean, it was kind of comical to see so many bad runouts, but I think I have to be a little self-aware. I think I was kind of turning into a passive nitfish a little bit, if everybody knows what that means. I was letting my opponents drive the action way too much. Even though if they were as aggressive, maybe as we had the read that they were, maybe that's not the worst strategy, but I think you just got to go with your gut against those players and just play marginal spots a little more aggressively. Fight fire with fire, that kind of thing. And maybe that's, even though they were hitting good runouts against us, I think we could have maybe played a little bit better. So that's something to think about next time. And yeah, so I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. I wasn't able to stream yesterday because we had friends over most of the day. And just getting ready for the party and all that stuff we did yesterday. It was a good time. So, sorry I didn't do that, but I do plan on doing it. And actually today was like a double work day for me. Very busy day, but I did want to go ahead and get the stream in today for you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I look forward to hearing comments on what you guys are thinking about the heads up play. And yeah, take care everybody.